Greetings, Galactic Guardians of the Golden Age of Nova Gaia, fully awake, fully aware, and fully activated. Today is day 1 of the full anchoring of New Earth, although we have much work still to do, many transformations, transmutations, activations, and that is why I titled today's transmission 1. Now it may take some time, maybe 33 days, possibly 66 days for the full manifestation to occur. And how auspicious day 1 on the day after Christmas, the day of Christ consciousness awakening, the Christos, the crystalline code of the 12 strand by 12 DNA of the 144. And this concept was transmitted today to me from my guides, from the Galactics, from Source, and through higher self, 12D Venusian, elven lineage of my sacred condor, my queen. And this isn't some past life thing or future life thing. This is a now thing in a higher dimension that resonates in this now presence, but in a higher frequency, a higher resonance. We will give this concept till the 1st of January 2021, which is what we agreed to hold the line, our lineage, our team, hold the line for the higher dimensional beings, the ascended masters, the angelics, anchoring in the codes, continuing our work, following the plan of divinity. And then on the 1st of January, we examine, we investigate, we see where we are at, and then we refine and transform from there. So holding the line is not backing down from the nefarious energies, from the dark ones. It is not compromising, and it is not retreating. We are the guardians of the Lion Nation, of the Lyrans. And if this resonates with you, and you feel this activation, you know what you need to do. So just do it. Do not question or doubt yourself. Step into your divinity with the heart of the lion, Corleone. The dark ones, the nefarious ones throughout history, took everything sacred and twisted it to their nefarious, ignorant ways of stupidity, to dumb down society, to dumb down the mind of man, and to live in ignorance of separation and duality. But we came here, beloved beings of light, to change the game and to transform the matrix from the false, negative, nefarious, to that of the light of the positive timelines, through the love, through the light of divinity, of Christ consciousness, of pure consciousness, of the Buddha consciousness, of the gold light emanating from the white, the highest light, the highest frequency that this realm can handle. So we have 6 days, including today, the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, 6 days into the 7th, and on the 7th day, we are fully arisen, we are fully ascended. And this might not be what you expect. We remove all expectations. Just live from your heart. Vision, keep holding the vision and visioning what you want to see for the new earth, what you want to see for heaven and earth, what you want to experience, what you want to feel, what you want to manifest for yourself, for your family, for humanity, and for all beings of pure consciousness, a whole. So today on the 26th, I hope you all had a beautiful Christmas, those that celebrated. I had a beautiful day with my Sacred Condor and Soul Star family. Thank you all for your blessings and your well wishes for myself, my Condor, and my family of light. Many codes coming in today and yesterday. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to take a moment and thank everyone for your support on Patreon. Because of the pledges and donations that I'm able to bring these transmissions to the world every day. So we're about halfway to the point of basic survival needs financially. So if you'd like to support our work and mission, you can make a pledge on patreon.com/prime disclosure. And at the end of today's transmissions, I'm going to tell a few short stories. One about the coyote and the white sun today, and about the 4 ox and the serpent from our gathering last night. I call the herd of the ox and the rainbow serpent, and then about the clear, fresh jellyfish. Also at the end, this will be at the very end of today's transmissions, the stories, and I will post an image, a photograph of a gift that my queen, my condor's crystal daughter, who I call my little princess of the purple flower, that she made and gifted to me for Christmas yesterday, which is now sitting on top of my altar, sacred gift. And you could purchase these beautiful handmade wool goddess totems on lunagoddessart.com. And when you make a purchase, send us the confirmation to habanerosun@yahoo.com, and we'll send you a free training, calling down the sky nations, the star beings, which we have posted and shared to our supporters on Patreon. So thank you everyone for your continued support. Now let's get to some of these synchronicities and codes. Today, the code came in 227227, which is the 1111 portal, the second portal to my sacred condor. Also yesterday, on Christmas Day, on the 25th, we had a 26 through 75 hertz amplitude on the Schumann resonance. Today, we had more codes coming in and posted on disclosurenews.it. It just says high frequency. So we're having these higher frequencies. I believe that this is beyond what their instruments can even record. So in these new earth times, it is irrelevant. But we're just still following the codes, the synchronicities, the activations to finalize the anchoring and the connection of 5D to the new earth, to the new Eden. And remember, we are all in this together because it is a collective co-creation manifestation, and it takes the whole team of the 144,000 to hold the line, to hold the codes, to hold the frequencies, to hold the vision of love for all, of freedom for all, and abundance for all living beings in this realm, in this frequency band that we are raising to the new codes, the cymatics of a higher pattern of sacred geometry and the higher mathematics of the 128-bit of the 144 codons. We had 134 M1.5 or greater earthquakes in the last 24 hours. We had a wave that flowed through the Ring of Fire, up through the Crown, down through Asia and through Europe into the Atlantic, a massive wave of energy with many activations. Earlier today, on the Ring of Fire in Russia, Shikotan 4.6, then in the Solomon Islands, Soul of the Moon, the Sun and the Moon, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine of the 5.1, Indonesia 4.2, then a 5.0 in Indonesia, 55 kilometers depth. Then in the higher crown, the higher activation of Northern Alaska 3.1, Mexico 4.3, and then south of Panama 4.4. And then we had multiple activations today in the sacred portal, where the Trinity, the three sacred mountain ranges, Tian Shan, Celestial Mountain, Kunlun Mountain in the middle, Tian Shan is in the north, Kunlun middle, Himalayan lower in the south. So we have the three Dantians, the Trinity, Qigong, Neigong, Shengong, body, mind, spirit that merge together to create the trident, to create the apex in Tajikistan with a 5.2, 40.168 latitude, 71.618 longitude. Shohi Mardan, eastern Uzbekistan, on the border of Tajikistan, which just happens to be the center of this massive wave that flowed through the middle Dantian, the heart of Pachamama. Today in Japan, east coast of Honshu, 4.5, Fiji, 4.3, another 527 kilometers depth. And then we had multiple activations around the Ring of Fire, starting with the Atlantean energy of the Divine Masculine, with a 3.5 in Puerto Rico of the 8 energy. Then in South Africa, actually in the ocean south of South Africa, with a 4.9 of the 13 of the Divine Goddess, 2220 UTC 222 portal. And then in the sacred portal of South America and the Andes Mountains, the home of our sacred condos, in Peru, Cusco 5.0, 10 kilometers depth. We have the 510 encoded in there. The birthday portal of Sri Yukteswar and Pablo C. We had in Chile 4.2 in South America, again in the Andes Mountains, 136 kilometers depth. And then another activation in Japan with the Lemurian energies, 4.6. Crete, Greece, 4.2. Papua New Guinea, also on the Ring of Fire, 5.4 with the 9, the Council of 9 activations. Weldon, California, 3.5. Goldfield, Nevada, 3.4. So we have the 8 and the 7. And then in the Crown in Lemuria, about 2 hours ago, 4.2 of the 6, 46 kilometers depth. The mirror of the 64 of the Matrix, Fox Islands, which is also the 666. And please remember, these sacred codes and numbers of the light have been twisted, deformed, distorted by the nefarious consciousness, the dark energies, with their dark magic, their black magic, and the false rituals. These are sacred numbers, sacred geometry, and sacred frequencies that they turned into bad or evil concepts, because they know the reality, the manifestation in this realm is perception. So one last thing before we get started, 117 coming into the 711, 711, the 99 Tengri sky beings, the thunder beings leading the way from the west, the Pure Land. Before we get started with the transmission, if you could all do me a favor, this is something else coming through today. This is an experiment to test. For those that want to support this channel and my mission that can't afford the $5 a month minimum on Patreon, if you could do me a favor and click on my channel and then click on the event playlist, and you can mute your sound and just hit play all and let it play throughout the day. I want to do an experiment to see if that has any effect on the AI on YouTube, to help get these messages out to more of our team, more of our light workers, our love workers, our star seeds. And we would appreciate the efforts. We will get started with today's first transmission from Divine Sister of the Light, Carolyn, Servant of Yahweh. Divine Masculine Christ Update. On December 25th, 2020, Shekinah, the Divine Mother, united and merged with the Divine Masculine Christ. This occurred in spirit and will birth through this Capricorn season. The 33-degree celestial lineup was activated in the 33 vertebrae of the spine of the Divine Masculine for union. The Omega Stargate portal is now open, gifting us the opportunity to receive the download of the Holy Spirit, merging into the seed of the Divine Masculine Christ. This is biblically known as Jacob's Ladder. The light body container surrounding the spinal column of the Divine Masculine is prepared and ready to hold the Spirit of Yahweh and become anointed as Christ. This is all through the acts of Shekinah. This union brings forth the alchemical marriage and birthrights of lavish abundance and overflow. She is the balance needed to raise up the kings of Christ into their new position as leaders of Christ consciousness and the alchemical abilities of the Holy Grail. This new, balanced, Christ-like embodiment is replacing the distorted masculine ego-driven beast system. This is the new heaven and new earth. This is the full restoration, Holy Grail bloodline, seed branch, and timeline of Heros Gamos unions. We are merging heaven to earth in our physical embodiment and sacred marriage of the flesh, alchemy. We are one. Sealed all praises to the Most High. Love, Carolyn. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Marika Moretto. We've been in full direct connection with the central sun for a few days. This means we're continuously absorbing high-frequency photon particles. It's very important to be aware of this. Our DNA is being updated and reprogrammed. Blocks that have been binding and limiting is so far are removed. This never happened before. This is why observe what happens with gratitude. This process obviously requires a deep cleansing of the matrix and the physical body. Know that the memories of pain stored in our thin bodies belonging to other incarnations are now awakened and reactivated all at once. What does this mean? The only way to heal memories of pain is to relive those memories. Repeating information, meaning a situation, cancels it, and this information of pain disappears, as if it never existed in us. It's important to understand this precisely, because these days we're solving ancient and very ancient knots, even if only in minutes. We are reliving and solving massive amounts of trauma and fears in a few moments, instantly. This is why these days we may have even more amplified emotions and overlapping that come and go and that dominate our entire being until interacting with the physical body, and from him to expel the toxins of these painful memories. The physical body has many ways to unload this information of pain, but first of all it is tears. Crying is precious because liberating. Let the pain out, whether it's a cry of joy, of confusion or sadness, let it act. Resistance to change has been permanently abandoned. If you still feel continuous sicknesses, please know that it's perfectly normal, especially linked to the first 3 chakras, what are commonly referred to as gut viruses that therefore involve many lower releases and are simply mechanisms to release such energy work in progress. Migraines mean subtle work in the mental plane for those who are very rigid, rational, very mind-bound, and it may also have continuous disturbance or pressures at the top of the head, the temples, the back of the head. Chest pain and heart palpitations is simply an unlocking of the 4th chakra, which happens gradually for each one. The throat is under pressure at this time, precisely because communication is missing right now. This is why blocks related to the 5th chakra are removed, and this could cause voice lowering, difficulty speaking, sore throat, or simply needing to remain silent. Know that the nervous system is being brought to the limits of endurance in this energy shift. So insomnia or difficulty sleeping is perfectly normal. And in the astral we're disposing of everything, so dreams are loaded. The important thing is to understand what is happening. Understanding brings relief and gives peace of mind. Who wouldn't feel any of this? It's fine. It means that we have already completed these processes. Everything is always absolutely subjective. It depends on what the soul has chosen to do here in this incarnation. But it's really important to understand the immense work our body is doing lately. So far, the central sun has worked intermittently, precisely to prepare us for such a direct, intense, and continuous connection with him. This is what's happening now. So in these years, we have been prepared for this exact moment. The continuous illnesses we've had over the years have been a preparation for the deep work that is now coming to an end. It's fair to point out that whoever started this journey years ago has now come to the conclusion of this karmic cleaning, and DNA is so easily reactivated in no time. For those who have never worked before, obviously that they will now have more difficulty absorbing these processes, but will be accompanied gradually. This is to say that there is absolutely no deadline for ascension. In the next few years, anyone will have the chance to ascend into 5D. Surely those who will find themselves starting an inner work will have more difficulty than those who have already started it. This is simply because the frequencies are increasing, and for this reason, the energy pain can no longer remain in this reality. They will be stimulated to heal at all costs, sometimes gently, sometimes decisively and resolutely. Those who still live in the low frequencies will find themselves increasingly difficult here, and they will have to start an inner work or choose to abandon this reality and proceed in other third dimensions. Every soul chooses and will choose what is best for their evolution. In this we are being followed and cared for in the higher dimensions. So let's thank these precious days when our body literally gives way to our soul, a body that's breaking up to rebuild itself in the new energy union. Let's love it even more, and let's honor it. It's the tool that lets us be here, doing what we have to do. Our body from now on will undergo great healing and transformations. simply because the healing we've done so far now materializes in the material plane. Matter is ready to receive the soul, and it becomes a manifestation of it, joyful and divine. And this is just the beginning. Happy rebirth, Marika Moreto. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Judith Kusel, 133 coming in. This is a moment of cosmic rebirth of the highest kind, and I am feeling these very powerful energies intensely today. Indeed, it has been building up into a crescendo and will continue doing so for the next few months. The whole universe is being systematically reinvented, and a massive rebirth and reshuffling is occurring. With this, the new earth is rising at immense speed, and you indeed, your physical body is going through intense changes too. So you will need to rest more and seek stillness and quietude. The deepest shifts are recurring within us as our soul reconnects more and more with the divinity within, as an outpouring of energies directly from the divine source is pouring into our stellar gateways and upper chakras, igniting the highest Christedness. The energy is beautiful white gold, and I have been shown the earth from up in the cosmos, and indeed she is pulsating with this beautiful white golden energy in her new earth state. As the old is dissipating more and more, the shifts are now immensely powerful inner shifts, a deep remembering of the immortality of your own soul and its true magnificence. We are remembering our God and goddesshood, and indeed we are moving back into the original primordial paradise creation. We are being prepared for immense changes which will occur in 2021 up to 2032, and indeed by then humankind and the earth will be totally different. We are moving back into the heart of love and indeed unity and oneness, yet this needs to come from deep within ourselves, embracing all that is, before we can embrace the whole of new earth and the reborn humanity. What a potent and powerful moment this is. You will have more and more transcendental experiences, and more will be revealed on all levels now. This is but the very beginning of enormous quantum changes on all fronts. From JudithKusel.com, and today from Divine Sister of the Light, Linda Lee, a new human race and star civilization has born, December 26, 2020. Dear children on earth, I am your Mother Divine, the Mother of all creation. I come today to share news. This Christmas has been such a monumental moment for human history. The entire planet and human race has gone through a rebirthing moment and now has been uplifted to a much higher realm. The consciousness of the planet and human race has a total makeover. The old way of living has been totally removed. What remains is the new human. The planet-wide new human race has been born. Now the birthing process has been done. What the new human means is that the blueprint of humanity has been upgraded, consciousness-wise, ushering in the new humanity. This new humanity is the advanced version of the human race, which means humanity from this point on is qualified to be a star race. A race that is accepted by the Galactic Society and can have equal rights in the Galactic and can get involved in the Federal Galactic Society. The human race now is here to be reckoned with. What an achievement. After this achievement, the Federal Galactic Society has officially accepted the human race as a star race, and from now on, every move the Galactics make involving humanity and the planet Earth, humanity will have a say. There will be no more illegal invasions or some other intrusive activities to the planet and humanity, and is now allowed according to the laws and rules of the Galactic Society. The human race finally has grown up and is being treated as a grown-up. In the time to come, there will be more information about the Galactic Society and rules and roles humanity plays. The education is needed in terms of how and what the Galactics are and what humanity will need to understand in order to play the roles in the Galactic Society with equal footing. The divine and light workers will bring the necessary materials to the planet so that eventually the planet and humanity will be equipped with the knowledge and feel confident facing the members of the star nations and lift herself up to the status that humanity has worked hard earning. I love you, dear children, in my heart. I am your Mother Divine. Celebrate the remarkable achievement and know that the planet has advanced and the new human race has been born. Go in peace now, so it is. Linda Lee. And today, from the Gene Keys, Unlocking the Higher Purpose Hidden in Your DNA by Richard Rudd, Gene Key 58, 1111 coming in. 5813 of the Divine Goddess, December 25th through December 30th, 2020. Dissatisfaction, vitality, bliss. The Gene Keys teach us many things, and one of the greatest things it reminds us is that loss is not what it seems. It is actually an opening to greater joy. The one who appears to have left is actually allowing us to feel more whole. That's the sole reason for their leaving. When awareness arrives, it's as though the most beautiful dawn has come into your own being. We become a cultivator of seeds, and we use the experiences and sufferings of our life to bring more light into our heart. All the people we've ever loved all our lives will all be there in front of us when our heart one day opens absolutely. Excerpt from the 64 Ways. And from the Yi Ching, hexagram 58. The joyous, serene, still waters nourish life. Bliss exists in the serenity of nature. Nourishing life force brings enthusiasm to thrive. Bliss is the eternal spring of life. Vitality swims in the joyous water of service. Dissatisfaction thrives in the murky marsh of stagnancy. Energy of elation. The superior man encourages the conversation of friends and the stimulus of their common practice. The ancients named this G key, this hexagram, the joyous. But how can we have joy without sadness? Loss is a part of human life. We all lose those we love. How we deal with this loss is a deep, deep part of our learning within this Gene Key. Richard Rudd, 64 Ways, genekeys.com. And today from Divine Sister of the Light, Leah Whitehorse, Lua Astrology, the Sun in Capricorn square Chiron and Aries. Old wounds are visible now, and we may feel more vulnerable or self-conscious than usual. Physical or emotional scars could feel like flaws that we must hide from others, or a weakness that should be overcome. But if we can share our pain, then each of us shines brighter. Old hurts can become teachers, old wounds can become gifts. Be willing to lend a hand to those who are elderly, sick, troubled, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Rest if you're ill. Allow time for recuperation and then strengthen yourself slowly. Change how you think about sickness. Push yourself enough to work through the fears, blocks, and challenges, but not so much that you break. Breathe light into what hurts you to alleviate pain. Don't let your suffering define you. From LeahWhitehorse.com, and today from the Tzolk'in Times, Kin 12, Yellow Crystal Human. Crystal is the name for the number 12, and its keywords are dedication, cooperation, and universalize. The 12th day is so near the end of the wave spell that there is not much you can do now to aid your mission along. If you started one on the first day, the best thing to do now is to talk to others and share your experiences. Cooperation is a key factor to understanding the 12th day. Instead of trying to make sense of all this by yourself, learn from others, as this is the best way to gain deeper understanding of the calendar. Today is Yellow Human, and the key elements for the sign are influence, wisdom, and free will. The Yellow Human is a sensitive soul who doesn't easily communicate, but who is on the receiving end of much wisdom intuitively. They must be aware their cup can runneth over sometimes, so it's good to share this wisdom and offload some of it. However, they have free will, and no one can tell a Yellow Human what to do. If you are a human today, you will be in your element. For the rest of us, we can tune in and receive wisdom, and also we have free will to do with this wisdom what we like. Today, from Divine Sister of the Light, Christina Papagiorgio, Yellow Crystal Human, Kin 12, 26 December 2020, Christic Connections, 26/12/2020 equal 26/12/22 equal 834 equal 15 equal 6. 26 Empowerment through compassion. 8 Infinity abundance source flow. 12 Acquiring wisdom and strength. 3 Holy Trinity joy creativity. 4 Form structure foundation earth angelic. 6 Heaven Christ consciousness harmony family. Kin 12 = 3, Holy Trinity, Spirit Code for building our new foundation of peace and harmony. A beautiful divine and heavenly day aligning with divine will. Day 12 already on our journey with our Red Mother Dragon wave spell, where we are incubating in the womb of creation. We are being guided to focus on nurturance and compassion for ourselves and others and our planet, realizing the importance of self-love and the giving and receiving of unconditional love in order to grow and flourish and be born anew. Today we are universalizing our divine wisdom and connecting with our kin to influence the way we communicate and cooperate in a more loving and compassionate manner. Pure crystalline connections through our World Wide Web. Day 12 is a day to take stock of your intentions, motivations, and influence, filled with an abundance of yellow, golden energy from the combined energies of yellow human and yellow seed. It is a day of gentle empowerment and cooperation. Tone of creation, crystal. Tone 12 in the mental realm. Action universalizes. Power dedicates. Essence, cooperation. The veil of illusion and false deception of the old matrix has finally been dissolved through the space and freedom engendered by yesterday's spectral phase of disillusion and release. New partnerships emerge, energy comes together, and crystal beings form. Stories must be shared of the wondrous and brave adventures we have been on. The crystal energy is brilliant for gaining crystal clear clarity and guidance for your next steps forward. Communication and networking flows, information from spirit in all realms flow, freely accessible by all of the new crystal beings connected to Gaia's crystalline communication grid. Day by day we are getting closer to linking telepathically to this universal grid and each other. The crystal devas are very excited and anxiously awaiting to be of service. Ditch your smartphones and 5G and tune into the new kid on the global block 5D. The channels have commenced broadcasting. Transmission is on. This is the new Ethernet. GGG, Galactic Global Grid. Free subscription includes unlimited Akashic record downloads. No freezing, crashing, or dropouts. Galactic light speed assured. Get ready for Galactic Google. Life will never be the same again. Reclaiming your power and aligning your free will with that of divine will and dedicating yourself to divine service as you fully anchor and activate your galactic soul gold print. This enables you to download greater wisdom and guidance directly from the universal grid for your upcoming galactic mission and becoming the beautiful, compassionate, and humble master that you are. Yeshua, Jesus Christ, demonstrated the ideal way that humans need to conduct themselves on planet Earth, exhibiting elevated consciousness through connections, continually performing loving deeds for the healing and betterment of others in service to the divine. Yeshua spent his lifetime teaching others about his Father's wishes through alignment with divine will so that we can experience heaven on earth. Today's 6th heavenly code offers these codes for us to align with the Christos energies that were activated yesterday on Christmas Day, celebrating the birth of our Christ. Christic connections are a priority from this day forth. The energies are very conducive for surrendering your free will and fully aligning with your mighty I Am presence, becoming the golden, angelic, Christed human God, being that is your birthright. We are gods in training. At some point we must make the decision to remove those training wheels and let our golden chariots fly. Can I get an amen? Come fill your golden holy grail with the golden light nectar from the gods until your cup runneth over. This is the holy sacrament. Amen. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God of hosts. Today's question is, how can we share our divine wisdom through compassion and acts of loving kindness, positively influencing others to follow our lead and co-create a better and more caring world for future generations? Divine blessings for connecting to the universal Christos grid of loving kindness. And Lakeka Kin, Christina White, Magnetic World Bridger, Kin 66. Kin 12, Yellow Crystal Human. The mantra, the code for today is, I dedicate in order to influence. Universalizing wisdom, I seal the process of free will. With the crystal tone of cooperation, I am guided by the power of flowering. So, star blossoms, on this beautiful day of blossoming and blooming and flowering into the new earth, let us know in the comments below what you are experiencing on this day, what you are feeling, what you are seeing, your visions, your synchronicities, and your divine happenings. Let us also know, where does the green grass grow? And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and click the subscribe button below and the little bell to get notifications on future updates. And as always, we have a link in the description below the video to the transcriptions of today's transmissions, and we archive these on our website, primedisclosure.com. And now, I would like to thank everyone for their support on Patreon and your donations. I would like to welcome and thank Divine Angel of the Light KCB for your pledge and support on Patreon. I'd like to thank Divine Sister of the Light Sally Benson for raising your pledge on Patreon, and we'd like to thank Divine Sister of the Light Paula M for raising your pledge on Patreon also. Thank you all very much. The Eagle and the Condor, thank you and appreciate all of your support and your pledges. Any financial backing you can give us on our great mission. Now I'd like to also thank Divine Sister of the Light, Patricia Venorne, for your donation. Thank you, Sister. And I would like to also thank Divine Sister of the Light, Wendy High, for your donation. And I'd like to thank Bro Star of the Light, David Draghi, for your donation. So in my visioning today, I'm seeing potentially maybe building a sacred home for my sacred condor and her 3 crystal children. And the visions that are coming through are going to make anything Frank Lloyd Wright designed and created look mediocre. This is new earth energy coming in. And what I could design and build is unlike anything this earth has ever witnessed before. But it's going to take time, energy, and money to create this crystal temple and crystalline palace that has only been seen and witnessed on 12D Venus. And I am seeing a saltwater pond where we can grow sea sponges, one of my condor's favorites, and corals, also breed octopi and beautiful jellyfish that we can swim with like in a sacred ocean. Okay, maybe I'm getting a little out of hand here, but truthfully, nothing is out of hand on the new earth. Keep dreaming, keep visioning, keep seeing, and this will bring me to my first story. It's when I told my sacred queen yesterday about an experience I had outside of Cleveland. It's about a half hour from Cleveland, Ohio, called Nelson Ledges. It's an old quarry that has filled with water from a natural spring, and there's a little beach there. It's a place where a lot of hippies hang out. There's concerts, people swim, you can jump off the cliffs into the water. But this is a special place. I know some of you that are listening now have been to Nelson's Ledges. It's about a half hour east, 40 minutes east of downtown Cleveland. Beautiful area. So let us know in the comments if you've been there. And also let us know in the comments if you haven't been there. Grandmother Bear, quit tickling my hoyin. But there was a time when I was there with my friend and some of my family. And there's special times of the year where there's the birthing of many little freshwater jellyfish. I don't know if there's anywhere else in the world where these jellyfish live, but they're tiny little clear jellyfish. And as my queen asked me, did they sting? No, they don't have a stinger. And they're very tiny. They're about the size, they're smaller than a dime, but they look like a full-size jellyfish. And they're clear, so they're very hard to find. But we were there on the day that many of these were birthed. So you could hold them in your palms in the water, and they bounce around like little angels. And there are literally tens of thousands of these little angels floating around in this huge lake. And people were catching them in cups, clear cups and water bottles, and then releasing them back into the lake. But just to be able to see them up close with their little tiny translucent see-through bodies as the rainbow colors were shining through their fleshy little bodies. And my queen really loved that story, so I figured I'd transmit it to all of you. Now another one today, as I was driving up the country heading north, it started pouring rain, and as I drove by this field, a beautiful coyote was springing through the tall grasses. And right when I saw her to my right, to my left, through the clouds and through the rain, the sun turned a bright white and transmitted an energy to me. And I saw a vision of like a Robin Hood energy of taking from the rich, giving to the poor. And not the rich, not the ones that worked hard for their money or were ethical in their practices, but I'm talking about people, these families like the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, the Schiffs, the Soroses, all these nefarious entities, is removing their financial backing and transmitting it to those that are of the light, those that are humanitarian, to those that will use the money to help build the new earth. And the psychopaths that run these nefarious organizations, I call them the mafias of the world. They monetize everything that has caused human suffering and still causing suffering today, but that's all being removed, resolved, and transformed and transmuted. And it is up to us to hold the line, to hold the focus, and to hold the intent and vision of freedom, abundance, and love for all of humanity. And then the last story, last night, as I was gathering with my sacred condor and her crystal children and La Familia, as we were sitting on a couch, we realized that there were 4 of us sitting next to each other. We were all born in the year of the ox, exactly 12 years apart from each other in 4s. So it was myself in 73, year of the ox, the oldest of the 4. And then my queen's bro star, who was 12 years younger than his girlfriend, that was 12 years younger than him. And then my queen's daughter, I call the princess of the purple flower, that gifted me yesterday this goddess totem in the image in the end of this video. And she was 12 years younger than bro star's girlfriend. So we had 4. And 2 of us were Taurian, myself and my queen's daughter. So we had 2 bulls born in the year of the ox. There were 4 of us oxes, and my queen being the snake, the year of the snake, the serpent. So that rainbow serpent that is the divine feminine leader of the power of the ox, the force and the power coming together. We also had a rat, and we had 2 dragons. And synchronically, this year coming up, 2021, beginning February 11th, on the second new moon after the winter solstice, begins the year of the ox, and it's the metal ox, and metal of the lungs. In Chinese medicine, lungs the color white, lungs in large intestine. So this is overcoming conflict, adversity, duality with the power of the ox, and breathing deep the pure oxygen, the pure prana of the heavenly light, also encoded within this synchronicity is the 12-12-12-12. It's the double 12-12 portal. The 12-12 is the 3rd portal to my sacred condor, and 12-12-12-12 is 24-24, which is 66, which equals 12 of the divine goddess. Now with the eyes to see and the ears to hear, all is becoming clear. Everything is clearing away with crystal clarity, with the crystal tones, with the frequency, with the symphony of the spheres. All is in higher resonance and convergence for the new earth manifestation, for manifesting heaven on earth. So keep walking your sacred path with heart. and shining your light brightly into the night. Beloved beings of light, we love you all. Namaste.